Very dynamic. Donald.
A few months ago, had the pleasure of meeting this guy on the phone, and via some conversations with people like Dale Marsh and Greg Whitfield and Ken Gaines and mutual friends. I want y'all to do me a favor and welcome George Ensle to Walk Section.
Thank you. Woo! Good to be here. Good to be here. Never been one to ask for a lot more than all I got. And when it comes to ambition, well, I've always been one to say I'd rather be fishing. Well, it's the path of least resistance. I'm into a road I'm taking is making do. I've been known to let the big ones get away, doing the little things that make my day. Simple pleasures that I treasure. If I was to measure my life, it would be in simple pleasure, small endeavors that don't ever amount to any more than all I need. Well, like sitting in the kitchen with a half-full cup, Saturday being the first one up, stolen moments I call my own. That's the kind of high you can't put a price on. Watching a ball game, putting a par, wetting the hook, it's a good cigar, kissing my baby under backyard stars, finding peace of mind without going too far. Simple pleasures that I treasure. If I was to measure my life, it would be in simple pleasures, small endeavors that don't ever amount to any more than all I need. It's breaking even, it's an even break. It's a walk in the park, it's a piece of cake. It's what you can't have till you give it away. It's having nothing I can live without another day. I don't need no more stuff. Well, it's a rope swing down at the swimming hole. It's a field of mud in between my toes, letting the little ones lead the way, and listening to the old ones when they say simple pleasures are life's treasures. When you measure out your recipe, take simple pleasure, mixed together with the ones you love, you'll have all that you need. Yeah. Well, I heard about an old married couple and he died. And he went to heaven. And there was two lines, one for henpecked husbands and one for non-henpecked husbands. And he was the only one standing in the non-henpecked husband line. And this henpecked husband looked over at him and said, "What are you doing standing in the non-henpecked husband's line?" And he said, "This is where my wife told me to stand when I got to heaven." Anyway, there's an element of folks that still live in the inner city, and this is a song about a lady that when we lived in a rent house used to live across the street. She was an elderly widow lady, and she was a short little gal, and but she, as it turned out, was a stonemason and had laid all the stone on the family farmstead. She was also a bird lover. After her husband passed away, my wife and I decided we'd try to spend a little more time helping her out, you know. And it turned out the other way around, really. She really lifted us up and helped us out, probably more than we did her. Because she told me this great story. My wife has cats, so on more than one occasion we've had them bring up birds with broken wings, and when we take them to wildlife rescue and the vet, they say you have to euthanize the bird. Well, she told this story about this cardinal that showed up with a broken wing, and she said, so I sewed its wings to a pillow, and I hand-fed it until the wing healed, and it did. She said when I released it, it would fly around the block when I would walk and land on my shoulder sometimes, and she didn't know any better, I guess. Feeds the birds outside her kitchen window. You know, she laid every stone on the old home place. She's an old-fashioned gal, she's the widow who lives across the street at a different pace. She gave patience to the world with her children. Gave strength to the world with her man. She worked the herd and she read the word. And now when she smiles, I understand. She's one who's touched the lives of many. The kindness fine as tatted lace, gives when she hasn't any, and lives her days in a state of grace. Then she asks how my family is faring, and if my dreams are still coming true. In her parlor filled with her caring and old pictures to get her through. And then the sunlight streams in through her window in a moment frozen in time, capturing her ageless beauty, waiting forever there to find. She's one who's touched the lives of many. The kindness fine as tatted lace, gives when she hasn't any, and lives her days in a state of grace. She feeds the birds outside her kitchen window. You know, she laid every stone on the old home place. She's an old-fashioned gal. She's the widow who lives across the street at a different pace. Thank you. Well, I felt like it was time Texas had a national anthem. What do y'all think?
Yeah, definitely.
Just in case. You know, I thought, well, if you're going to write the national anthem, then you ought to have everything that's cool about Texas in the song. So I wrote this song, and it was an hour and a half long. So anyway, I pared it down a little bit. But I'm proud to be a native Texan, and born here and raised here, and I haven't left, and I don't plan on leaving. And I really pride myself in the fact that I've traveled so much around the state that I know all the eating spots and all the small. I mean, I'll bet anyone here $100, and you can name a small town, and I can tell you a restaurant in that town. Go ahead. I won't even shake hands on it. Name a small town in Texas. Dairy Queen.
I've got one, Kurt.
Dairy Queen. Oh no. We wave howdy to strangers. We tip our hats and say yes, ma'am. Try to be extra neighborly every chance we can. So I'll share the wealth and beauty that you may partake of the many wonderments here in the Lone Star State. Now when God bless Texas, well, He gave us a clear blue sky. The clouds just made for daydreaming, slowly floating by. He let our nights with stars big and bright, just made for wishing on. Well, it's a state of mind you can't find till you go to old San Antonio, 'cause it's Texas thing. I want y'all to know what it's like living in paradise, and how we come by our bragging rights. It's Texas thing. It's as good as it gets. Ever wonder why you ain't a Texan yet? Got our own down-home cooking, great steaks, chicken fried, the Tex-Mex plate that'll set you straight with Bluebell on the side. Got our own brand new music made for holding your baby tight, in an old-time sawdust dance hall bathed in Luckenbach light. It's a Texas thing. I want y'all to know what it's like living in paradise, how we come by our bragging rights. It's a Texas thing. It's as good as it gets. Ever wonder why you ain't a Texan yet? It's a whole nother country. One thing I never did get clear: why did we join the Union? Got all we need right here. Oh, yeah, it's a Texas thing. I could go on and on about them painted sunsets on the Panhandle Plains, and that sweet hill country rain, the wind in big thicket trees, Padre Island and the Gulf Coast breeze. It's New Luke Casey's and old straw hats, King Ranch pickups and old Cadillacs. It's a cowgirl on a cutting horse in a field of bluebonnets, and of course longhorns and jackalopes. Man, everything's bigger once you go. You know it's a Texas thing, and I'll be willing to bet you're gonna wonder why you ain't a Texan. No Dairy Queens. I almost won $100. Not hardly. I think I'll sing this song I wrote for my daughter. Dale sang a really beautiful song for his little girl. And I wrote this. My oldest daughter, I have 3 daughters. My oldest daughter was, she's the artist. And early on exhibited artistic creative abilities by inventing words like slickery. Daddy, if that's the entrance, where's the outrance? She used to call Tupperware Tupperware, and it was Christmas once, and she was behind the tree and said, "I think I just saw the ghost of Christmas presents." Yeah, she is quite creative. I was trying to teach her the days, and I said, if today is Tuesday, what's tomorrow? And she said, Threesday. And at night, we'd say the Vespers, and now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Angels watch me through the night. Keep me in their blessed sight. Amen. And she'd say, hey, women too. So you can imagine what it was like the first time she saw snow. Rainbow-colored eyes, dancing with a snowflake sky, give a feeling to this world. Like a pebble in a pool, tracing circles wide with the love of one little girl. For the key is in your heart, you're believing from the start. Our footprints live forever in the snow. How you found me just in time, I'll never know. Walking through this daybreak snow. You say the flowers are asleep beneath their blanket of white, just to give their finest spring. And the snow will turn to water, make these tiny stones shine like jewels in this dream. For the key is in your heart, you're believing from the start. Our footprints live forever in the snow. Take me to a place I used to know, walking through this daybreak snow. You say snowflakes are like people, each one different and the same. You're wise with words, still small. You say the reason why we're here is to closely hold a few and somehow come to know them all. For the key is in your heart, you're believing from the start. Our footprints live forever in the snow. As you take my hand and lead me back home, walking through this daybreak snow. Rainbow-colored eyes, dancing with a snowflake sky, give a feeling to this world. Like a pebble in a pool, tracing circles wide with the love of one little girl. Well, let's see here now. We were talking about, I was talking with Harold. little earlier about cowboy churches, and been playing a lot of cowboy churches lately. And I guess tomorrow I'm going to be going over to the Ellis County Cowboy Church at the invitation of my friends here I met in Marble Falls. I got this email, and it said you might be playing a cowboy church if, kind of a Foxworthy thing, you know. If the congregation won't buy a chandelier because no one knows how to play one, you might be going to a cowboy church. There's a whole lot of humor in cowboy churches, and that's one of the things I really love about how lighthearted they are about their relationship with the Lord. And I mean, they're serious and they're committed, but there's a real strong humor in their fellowship. I get some of my best material really from some of the elders there at the churches. One elder was telling me, he said, there was this guy that wanted to be a cowboy church preacher, and he did all his homework and all his studying, and he finally convinced the preacher that he was ready and capable of preaching a funeral. So he said, well, that's one I need to have preached. He said, gave the guy's name and the address and everything, and it was out in the boondocks. And he said, so the guy took off and preached his first funeral, and he was out there in the boonies, and he saw these. He was pretty close to where he was supposed to be going, and he saw these two guys leaning on shovels in front of a freshly filled hole, and he said, "Oh, I missed the funeral, man." But he went up there, and he went ahead and he preached the entire funeral. And as he was walking away, the one guy leaning on the shovel looked at the other and said, I have put in a lot of septic tanks in my life. There you go. That's the cowboy way there. This is about the circuit preacher and the circuit riders. A lot of whom, back in the early days, had to be pistol packing preachers. This is bless you, because of some of the outlaws. But anyway, this is about circuit preacher, who was the predecessor to the Cowboy Church. Well, he was a circuit preacher. He drove a dusty old black Ford. Took the good book down backwoods roads from town to town. Folks came from miles around to gather at that river of love and understanding, where the lost can still be found. All he owned was a Bible, a hymnal and that Ford. But he was rich like John the Baptist when he stood on that rock in the middle of that river. All your sins to deliver, with the laying on of hands that somehow made your shivering stop. Then he'd sing, cast your bread on the water, well, ask and you shall receive. Turn your swords into plowshares, well, as you sow, so shall you reap. Well, as you sow, so shall you reap. Now he'd marry him and he'd bury him, and he baptized every child into this world of love that he discovered with the miles. He'd travel across his land with that good book in his hand, saying your life is a river, and singing with a smile. Gotta cast your bread on the water, asking you shall receive, and turn your souls into plowshares. Well, as you sow, so shall you reap. He said the law of the land is written in the hearts of men. There's no one who's as blind as he who won't see that as you do unto any man, so you do unto you and me. His church had clouds on the ceiling, wildflowers on the floor, a rainbow for a window and a river for a door. I've sung a lot of songs since I left my backwoods home, but the one we sang on that riverbank changed my life the most. Cast your bread on the water, asking you shall receive. Turn your souls into plowshares. As you sow, so shall you reap. As you sow, so shall you reap. Let's do that again. Cast your bread on the water, asking you shall receive. Turn your swords into plowshares. Well, as you sow, so shall you reap. As you sow, so shall you reap. Well, he was a circuit preacher, drove a dusty old black Ford. Good. Amazing congregation.
Amen.
Well, now that I know y'all can sing along so well, yeah. Now that the ice has been broken, let's pass that tip jar. Well, all you have to sing on this song is Hillbilly Heaven. Real simple. You see, when I travel around, people mistakenly say, "You're from Austin, aren't you?" And I have to always correct them and say, "No, I'm from South Austin." That's where the Bubbas and the Bubettes live. For example, we have this thing called Large Trash Collection Day once a year, where you take all the junk out of your backyard and put it in your front yard. And your neighbor takes all the junk out of your front yard, puts it in his backyard. It's a form of recycling. This song is called Billy Bob's Backyard. And all you have to sing is Hillbilly Heaven right after a Bubba's Way of Life. It's in the chorus. I'm sure you'll get it. Billy Bob wears a ball cap backwards, aviator shades, black grease neath his fingernails and little on his face. With a semi-toothless smile, he said, "Howdy do." And I was having second thoughts about what I was about to do. He's a shade tree mechanic, and my alternator was gone. He said, "If you brought one, in an hour I'll have her on." Well, I said I had her rebuilt, sitting in my trunk. He said, "Put her around back." And that's when I saw Billy's jungle of junk. Billy Bob's backyard, well, it's a pack rat's paradise. It's a redneck collection from a Bubba's way of life. It's hillbilly heaven with an old rock standing guard. Whoa, over all them white trash treasures filling Billy Bob's backyard. 4 Skeeter breeding tires leaning up against an ugly shed. Studebaker pickup up on blocks with grass growing in the bed. Tin roof and warped plywood making a crooked fence. Slimy water standing in a John boat's got about 100 dents. Rusty rebar and bags of sackcrete that got wet and turned to stone. Motorless lawn mowers by clothesline haywired onto his girlfriend's Harley tank top and his Harley tee. Dead water heater and 2 lawn chairs with ripped out strap seats. Billy Bob's backyard, it's a pack rat's paradise. It's a redneck collection from a Bubba's way of life. It's hillbilly heaven with an old rock standing guard. Whoa, over all them white trash treasures filling Billy Bob's backyard. Beer cans, beer cans, beer cans thrown in scattered piles. Chickens pecking in the dirt to an 8-track playing Born to Be Wild. Well, he cleared away just enough space to fit my car between a satellite dish with a bird nest and a broke-down washing machine. I was leaning on a chopper frame, watching him sweat and cuss neath a torn tarp strung from his mobile home to an old Volkswagen bus. Billy Bob's backyard, it's a pack rat's paradise. It's a redneck collection from a buffalo's way of life. It's hillbilly heaven with an old rock standing guard. Whoa, over all them white trash treasures filling Billy Bob's backyard.
True story.
You're right about what you see. I was listening to a recording. I'm putting this song on the new CD, and I was listening to a recording of it, and it accidentally had my window down. My neighbor walked up. I found out the other day that the official version. Have y'all heard Mark Twain? His official autobiography is being published for the first time. It was like 100 years after his death. His family had to keep it from being published, but it's out now. I'm just really fascinated by Mark Twain and his humor. One of my favorite quotes of his was, he said, you know, when I was 14 years old, he said, my father was the most ignorant person in the world. And when I was turned 21, I was amazed at how much he learned in 7 years. Here's me standing up at bat in my first Little League game. Before I lost it when I struck out, dropped my head in shame. But on that long ride home, you said I didn't really lose, because I went down swinging and made no excuse. Here's me standing on your shoulders, working up the nerve to dive off into the deep end, tears welling up inside. But I made it when you told me those words every child should know. You said I might turn you loose, but I'll never let you go. Saving me, you've been saving me in this album by your bed, filled with pictures of me growing up and the ways that I've been bled with your little words of wisdom for my little cries for help. That saved me from a scary world and saved me from here's you running along beside me on my first two-wheel bike, trying to steer me straight like you've done all my life. You said it's not about the falling down, it's the climbing back on. It's not how far you've yet to go, it's how far you've already gone. Sometimes we let each other down, but when all was said and done, we stood by one another when they snapped that shutter. Forever, the Father and the Son. Now I know you might not understand all I'm saying in this song, or why you're in your second childhood, or why you're in this nursing home. I guess our roles are changing. Well, now I'm taking care of you, and the pictures in this scrapbook filled with timeless truth. I'll be saving you, and I'll be saving you. This album by my bed, and I'll hold on so now you can't let go, and know you've done your best. And I'll pray for words of wisdom for your little crest of hill, to save you from a scary world, and to save you from yourself. Well, I want to come back too. So y'all support this wonderful venue. Helen and Randy and Reno play a brand new song. Hope y'all stick around. I'm going to be right back, right? 10-minute break. Or if you have any requests, just write them on a $100 bill and put them in that tip jar. We'll get them played. But anyway, yeah, this is really fun, and I mean, whew, I do have CDs. I have 3 CDs out there. If you buy one of my CDs, you get a Dale Marsh CD for free. Anyway, this is a brand new song. I've got another one I'll play in the next set off the new CD, or maybe 2. But the new CD I'm working on is it's a concept album, and it's paying homage to the rural working class. And this particular song is called Grandma's Apron and Grandpa's Vest. Grandma's apron smelled like bleach, and Martha White flour. Sometimes she'd reach down into the pocket and pull out a treat, saying, how about a little something sweet? Might be a sugar cookie or a piece of fudge. I could feel the warmth, I could feel the love. Grandma baked into every batch, wearing that apron starting from scratch. Well, it was all cotton, it was soft and warm. They used to let me use it for my Superman cape, and held me close behind it when the thunderstorm. Grandma's apron had power, Grandma's apron had grace. Now Grandpa's vest was corduroy. We'd watch old westerns in his lazy boy. He'd reach in the pocket and pull out a toy, saying my sidekick's been a good boy. It might be a marble like the eye of a cat, or a whistle from a box of Cracker Jacks. That vest held his sweet surprise, as it came with a wink from a twinkling eye. He used to let me wear it when I rode my stick horse pony, chasing down outlaws, badge on my chest. And when we took naps in his lazy boy, old Grandpa's vest knew the cowboy way. Grandpa's vest knew tenderness. time to divide their things. Brother wanted the car, sister wanted the rings. I said I want the way they loved and blessed. Give me grandma's apron and grandpa's vest. And now my lady, where's grandma's apron? Cooking sugar cookies when the grandkids come. I wear grandpa's vest and my lazy boy. Grandkids on my lap. I'll pull out a toy while we're watching Gene and Roy. And Cisco Kid. Hop along, Cassidy. Gunsmoke. Rifleman. Lone Ranger and the Duke. Thank you.